to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all, from working at all, from working at all.
Don't lay down and die because a new world order, the business of the day for the elite when they're coming to take your freedoms away.
Hello again, human beings from the planet Earth. A little bit of information here I think you need to seriously start considering. I've seen on YouTube for several years everybody waiting in anticipation for martial law, and I myself thought we would see it before now. But in actuality, we have seen it. We've seen it in small areas around these devastating storms, Katrina, and other events that have gone on. So they know that the majority of people are compliant if they're put into an extreme situation, and they will follow along with whatever rule they've been handed. We've proven that. Put us in a bind, and we'll lay down like sheep, and we'll start believing once again that you're really here to help us. Okay? I want you to consider the facts on this website and then act accordingly. October's right around the corner. I think we all know about the Obama thing and the 15,000 troops, FEMA Region 3. All those headlines are flying around. But this concerns me. They're quoting 386,000 foreign troops now on U.S. soil. And as I think about it, even going back to the late 80s when I was in basic training, I did see both in Fort Dix, New Jersey, and in Fort Lost in the Woods, Missouri, foreign troops, even way back then. So I don't doubt this number. I think that 15,000 was just, to give you some information that's true, to get you fighting and keep you distracted, but not give you all the information. That's what I think. So anyway, there's some facts. I'm going to scroll through the jargon and, the twist and get down here to the facts that really caught my eye that I think, okay, we'll start here, I guess. Following the breadcrumb trail of FEMA orders, retired State Senator Sheldon R. Songstead of South Dakota issued an emergency FEMA Region 3 alert on August 13th. FEMA Region 3 is D.C., Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and West Virginia. Songstead research turned up some very interesting facts. Each item on its own could go unnoticed, but the collective facts may be worthy of your attention and scrutiny. The U.S. government appears to be preparing for a major event, and it appears that this event is being staged for approximately October 1st. Look at the numbers and the dates. Okay, UN peacekeepers began training the 4th week of July and will complete their 9-week training by October 1st. They are learning English as well as U.S. weapon systems and urban warfare training. How many troops are training? 386,000. And I'm sure there's not one link to confirm this because they're all in little pieces and pockets and from different places. So I don't know if there's one source that will give you all that. But so let's just consider that fact and move along. Center for Disease Control ordered 11 million worth of antibiotics. Where are they going? FEMA Region 3. When are they due? October 1st. This coupled with the fact that the World Health Organization held an emergency meeting, its second such meeting in history, to discuss MERS coronavirus. It's quite unsettling. The WHO determined that a vaccine must be in place by October 1st. Now, I'm going to stop there and just kind of put this thought out there. If we know something like this is coming by a certain date, well, then it's not from a natural source, just something that is in evolution and is going to happen because it's, generated from the earth or whatever, God, if you want to call it that, or whatever. Okay, so we automatically know that it's not naturally occurring. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a date in mind, and we'd already either be prepared for it or we would be caught unaware. So we know that it's going to be, orchestrated by somebody, which would lead us to the next question of who. Okay, so who, we're going to assume that it's an enemy of some sort. But if we knew now that an enemy of some sort was going to blast us with this wild virus to kill us all by a certain date, wouldn't we go take out that enemy? So one must have to assume on just these few key points that this is going to be orchestrated by our government, or that our government at least has knowledge of it and is not going to do anything about it other than give people some vaccinations and bury the bodies in mass coffins that don't live. So anyway, let's move on. You're not here for my interpretation, or maybe you are. Hopefully it's giving somebody a different point of view, so you'll just start thinking on your own. That's the goal. I don't want anybody to think like me. We'll all be in trouble. Anyway, periodic testing of GPS and communication satellites is normal, but coordinating their testing for the first time with a testing date of September 29th is also noteworthy. All DSH agents must now qualify with sidearm, shotgun, and AR-15. They don't want you to have your AR-15s. But anyway, they have to be qualified by the 28th. Less lethal qualifications are not mentioned. Has one eyebrow risen, the DHS will receive 2,800 mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles, or MRAPs, that must be delivered by October 1st. All National Guard units will complete their annual 2-week training in riot control and disaster assistance. All units must have their training completed by September 30th. However, the Eastern-based Coast Guard units will not be performing their usual training in the Gulf. This year they will be trained in Virginia and Delaware for 10 days beginning September 26. Okay, another few points to mention. When I was active, I was reserve, which is very similar to the National Guard, and I know from way back then, again, late 80s, early 90s, that your training was never, your 2-week training was never this specific, and it never applied to all reservists or all National Guard. You all had your, little 2 weeks that you were going to learn something, but generally speaking, it seemed to be unrelated to the other groups that were going out in different directions. But now it's very clear that everybody will take part in the same training. And when we have seen these false flag events, generally there is a drill going on at the same time. And so there is a drill going on at the same time with the Coast Guard. So we'd have to anticipate that this is probably coming in from sea. Whatever's happening is going to be coming in from sea. I guess maybe we could think that. I don't know. Let me move on. Coincidentally, the emergency broadcast system will begin daily testing beginning on September 25th through October 2nd. All of this kind reminds me of the bomb-sniffing dogs being trained at Boston Marathon for the first time ever. Side note in relation to the emergency broadcast system. If you listen to my Hacker News show every Monday, and you should be, because nothing is secure, we found out about a month ago that the entire emergency broadcast system could be hacked, and a hacker could send a notification to every form of TV and radio that exists in the country very easily. Has that been rectified? I don't know. So, we'd have to wonder, first of all, is this system even going to be able to be tested, or is somebody going to take it offline beforehand? And if it is tested, are we really sure of who's sending the test? Okay, we got all these questions that are arising, and most of the questions won't arise if you don't have all the information. See, so everything is scattered, and you'll have to spend the rest of your life grabbing at pieces to put your little puzzle together. Anyway, FEMA purchases orders deserve a little attention too. They ordered over 14.2 million MREs, heater meals, and 22 million pouches of emergency water to be delivered by Region 3 by October 1st. An additional order of 13.6 million worth of MREs and heater meals will be delivered to Austin by October 1st. So, all the way down to Austin. Kind of curious if the alert is in FEMA Region 3. So anyway, our U.S. military will not be permitted to leave from September 28th through November 5th. NORCOM's yearly training for civil unrest is suspended until September 27th to be performed in the northeast coastal areas. Date for release of QE3 report has been moved to October 16th. Over 300 school systems will be issued a 3-day emergency kit for each student in September. The retired senator's national preparedness research was sparked by a comment Donald Trump made during a recent appearance on Fox News. On the record with Greta Van Susteren. Songstead included a video version of his findings with his notice, video going viral. So anyway, these are some facts you guys need to consider, and this is something I didn't know until I read this post. A lot of this stuff we've heard about, but again, it's scattered in pieces, so you really can't put together the picture, and that's why I'm bringing you this post, and I haven't touched on much of the other stuff, if you notice, because it's all fragmented, and it's truthful, but a distraction to what's really going on. I will encourage everybody as a parent to look into this. If your school system is one of the systems that have been given these 300, the 3-day emergency kits, please don't send your kids to school starting October 1st. If your school received one of these, then it's very clear that your children may be stuck in that situation for 3 days. And in that 3 days, depending on the severity of the event in the general location, they could be whisked away from that school even before you're notified of their location and the reasoning behind it. So please, parents, we got to get behind this, because first and foremost, I don't really give a fuck about your money or your politics or your opinions or any of that. I care about the kids, because they're the only ones left that can save whatever is left of this earth. We've pretty much destroyed it. So, parents, check your school. Call them. Make them tell you whether they have received this or not. I will be doing the same here in New Hampshire. I'm going to guess that if it's 300 school systems, they're probably in that FEMA Region 3, and my school system is out of that district. But most certainly if you're in FEMA Region 3 and you see this video and you have children and you ignore this, one phone call to your school. If your school contains one of these 3-day emergency kits, I'm going to recommend that you keep your kids home with you, where you can at least know what's going on in their lives and what they're being taught and what they're being subjected to. Anyway, the link to this post will be below. As always, much love, many thanks. I'm also going to put a link below there to the support page of my website. Things for me are in crunch time, and I'm really at a crossroads, folks, where I need to make a break from the swinging the hammer daily and focus on my activism. It keeps eating at me. And anyway, the carpentry is not paying the bills. Not to go too deeply into it, but we are behind on things, and we are in jeopardy of losing housing if I don't pull something out of my ass real quick. And I've been giving it, obviously, the best effort. You've seen some of the videos. I am trying to work when there is work available, and so it's just not coming in fast enough, and it's really not what I want to do anyway. So anyway, much love. Many, many thanks for your support. And support, folks, isn't just a donation. It's sharing the information so that more people are woken up. Certainly I'm not here for the money, but if you do feel my efforts are worthy and you'd like to help ensure that I keep doing this on a daily basis, please visit the website and do what you can do. And shout out to the 2 sponsors we have now for monthly support. The Squidlist, blacksquidlist.org and another individual, both supporting my cause on a monthly basis. That's awesome. I really appreciate that. And anyway, I'm out of here for now. Much love, many thanks, and I will see you soon.
And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, upon the levers.